Hello everyone, happy Sunday. Just adjusted there. Alright, so I was watching Westworld last night and sculpting on Scolla, and had one of those not big picture but medium picture revelations that, oh yeah, he's supposed to have all this like turtleneck sweater that he can pull his head back into like a hoodie. So I had to smooth out and re-sculpt a bunch of these humps, which was fine because the scales on them were not at top-notch standards anyway, and being right on the top of the sculpture where you're going to see them prominently, I definitely want to give those the highest consideration and priority. So that is what I'm doing. Yeah, last time I was trying to come up with a stamp to put over all these little things, and I'm finding a lot better luck with coming in with the Damien Standard brush first, defining the flow of how the skin gets pulled around them, and then going in and either stamping them with just my standard Scolla bumps, like so. That usually works, and then in the places it doesn't quite work, I just gotta go like, you know, this fold is going right over the center of that scale, right? So I'll just smooth that fold down a little bit, and then try to find a way to get the crease to go around it, you know, kind of shave into one side of it or something to keep that general flow of the wrinkles. And here there's a bunch of just overlapping scales that just don't look great. So places like that, just wipe them out, lay down a new patch. Trying to keep the scales on his back pretty uniform in size. They get smaller and finer on his limbs and on his front and face and stuff. The back is a lot tougher leather. And when I need to, I'll just go in by hand. Put some in. Was also, again, I was studying these scales up here that I was particularly happy with, and one of the features they have is they're more diamond shaped, so they have roundish pieces to them, but they're, well, maybe two, yeah, I guess diamond, really. It just helps give those flow lines. You know, if you look at a section like that, it's directionless, kind of, it just looks like cobblestone. It doesn't look like organic skin that's moving on a creature to me. Then I've also been using the inverted Damien Standard. So normal Damien Standard cuts a line like this, right? If you hold Alt, you get the opposite of that. It makes a little ridge, and that helps kind of define. If it gets too much, you can just smooth it down, but then you get that nice little patch of little plateau on top of the scale. Don't want to get carried away and do it on everything, but you know, on some percentage of it, it works well. Uh-oh. Somehow I hit X, and so I have symmetry turned on, which means I was putting a lot of random lines around while doing that. It's probably fine. Probably. Ben Morta, welcome. How's it going today? Seems to just take me a couple minutes to get into the flow of doing these every time I come back to it. Having these kind of bigger, rougher, knobby scales come out. It's reminiscent of kind of the ridges that go down alligators' backs. I'm not sure if I want to call those out more or not. Cool, but he's already got this pattern of quills, and I don't really want to compete with those. And by compete with them, I mean create a visual feature that attracts the eye. You can only have so many of those things. If you have too many of them on a creature, it just becomes kind of a busy, convoluted mess. It doesn't read well to the eye. It's something I'm constantly having to remind myself of, because I love doing nitty-gritty textures so much. I just kind of get lost in them and I lose sight of the big picture. It's important to, on a regular basis, zoom in and out, see where you're at, look at the ratios, what is that thing that I'm terrible at in drawing? Proportions. like driving you out of the house, huh? Oh, I was afraid you were leaving. Things get challenging. I'm trying to preserve these bigger features of skin flow. Sigrid, welcome, welcome, welcome. Start by seeing how many of these regular scales fit in here. Actually, let me look at something here. So these stamps have a lot more detail than is coming across because of the resolution of the mesh here. So I'm going to try putting it down really low in some spots. Whoops. I'm just smoothing with Sculptress mode on. I really wish there was a way you could just select an area and tell that area to be higher res. And you could, if you go through this really convoluted process of separating the piece out and then doing higher res Dynamesh on that piece. But this is just painful because it has to recalculate everywhere your brush is going and retriangulate that surface. Let's go to 6. Just want to compare and see the relative detail level. Okay, and I'm going to try to do 12 up here. That's just barely better than what's currently there. You can see when I smooth that down, it gets rid of all those kind of pixely lines. Here you still see the pixely lines. So yeah. Just for reference here, you can see all the detail, the little lines, the little in-between bumps, and here is what it looks like on that resolution. And then here it is kind of the medium resolution and the practically the same as before resolution. Definitely a big difference, but again, keep in mind, you're seeing this piece from here. So can you see a difference between this and this? You can. It's pretty small. So I think basically what that means is I can keep where it's at. The annoying part about having a higher resolution is smoothing it down. It's not as bad. I do kind of feel like it's worth at least doing the 12, at least on the peaks. African Diva 5, hello. How's it going? Shouldn't you be celebrating someone's birthday right now? Currently eating enchiladas in celebration. Oh, that's good. I could go for some enchiladas. Do you make them? What's the best restaurant? Alita, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Mexican Villa. Family's been going there since I was a little girl. Alright. Lisa, did you turn 29 again? Here, I'm gonna give you some happy birthday points. Let's see. Oh yeah, you have to do that on this website. Here we go. Add points to all viewers. No, I don't want that. is Aletha on my list? This search could use some help. Clearly doesn't search. It pretends to be alphabetical. Oh, it's alphabetical going the wrong way. Does the search look at capitals? No, it does not. Man, I'm so good at this. And then the next button does nothing. That's cool. Oh, I think I wasn't actually logged in. I needed to refresh or whatever. Great, which means then I have to go find my peeps again. Where did that live? I don't know. This is how much I appreciate you, Aletha. I'm punishing myself by trying to learn UI live on the stream. So community and growth. Resources. No. Widgets. Is it alert box? No. Wow. Alright, I tried Aletha. I'll give you birthday points next time I figure that out. You're gonna own 40? Nice. 40s are good. What was it? Oh, right. I was going to go in and add some geometry. Oh, looks like I already did that up here a little bit. That's cool. Twelve businesses. Specifically, I want it along the high parts of the ridges because that's where the highlights from the light are going to be picked up the most. And so that's where the detail can pop. Aletha, just make sure you remind me next time I'm adding hearts to people. In case I forget. What I'm doing specifically is I'm using this button, which is called Sculptress Pro Mode. And what that does is whatever size your brush is set to, if it's set like this big and you do it, boom, look at that. Turns into really huge polygons. If you have it set really small, turns it to very small polygons. And the smaller they are, the more detail you get to capture when you do things like this. Yeah, let's just show it down here, the difference between, here's the low resolution and here's the high resolution. Let's see how much more detail is in there. It's just the mesh won't let me do the whole thing that high resolution because of technological limitations. So many of them all the time. Along the lines of microwaving, someone shared an article about writing that ended with feminists will suffer because they use microwaves. Wow. Yeah, that seems right. How dare women use microwaves? I'm going to try something real quick. Let me save this. Pretty sure that I tried this before, but it's been a while. So I'm going to try this again. I'm going to put Dynamesh as high as it'll go, 4096, and re-Dynamesh the whole thing. Which last time froze up the stream, so don't be surprised if I get frozen. It says progressive projection to 4.9 million points. See, 5 million polygons is not a big deal these days in general, but for whatever reason, this process just brings the computer to its knees. So I guess while it's doing that, let's talk about our cognitive bias of the day. All right. Did we get past this first one? Ambiguity bias. Yeah, I think we did that. Status quo bias. Pretty sure we did. Social comparison effect. I don't think we've done that one. Okay, and this is in the category to avoid mistakes, we aim to preserve autonomy in group status and avoid irreversible decisions. Okay, so we want to look for social comparison effect. Affect/mood is, and its effect on social comparison. Centers on the belief that there's a drive within individuals to gain accurate self-evaluations. Accurate? That's an interesting thought. I don't think most people want accurate self-evaluations. I feel like I do, but that's just because I made a, my imaginary perfect image of myself and tell myself that story all the time. Let's see. The theory explains how individuals evaluate their own opinions and abilities by comparing themselves to others in order to reduce uncertainty in these domains and learn how to define the self. Following the initial theory, research began to focus on social comparison as a way of self-enhancement, introducing the concepts of downward and upward comparisons and expanding the motivations of social comparisons. Okay. So, how is this a cognitive bias? In the initial theory, Festinger provided 9 main hypotheses. First, he stated that humans have a basic drive to evaluate their opinions and abilities, and that people evaluate themselves through objective, non-social means. They evaluate? I don't... Man. Oh yeah! I was supposed to do this research before stream. I'm going to do a pre-stream checklist, which I know I've done before. So I'm going to find my pre-stream checklist document and find a way to make myself see it all the time. World building checklist. No. Folder. Streaming process. How we do? Oh, is it done? Looks like it finished. Oh. Wait, total points 30 million, active points 5 million. I wonder if that is, okay, that must be saying that all the other subtools, when you add them all up, you get 30 million. So, I'm not soloing. The performance seems fine. So, in the areas where I had super high resolution, it has gone down a little bit, but overall the rest of it is higher. So let's do a little test here to see. Not like that. Normal viewing. I mean, that seems good. I can see the little sub detail in there. Just fine. I'm paranoid that if I continue with this, I'll have lost some very valuable high detail somewhere, but it doesn't look like it. Nothing's jumping out at me. Just really the highest density that I had was around the bottom lip here. It looks like it's holding up just as well as the face. So. Okay, cool. I shall go with it. It saved me a lot of time. Shell's gonna give you a massage later. That's a wonderful birthday gift. Ellie says, I was under the impression that people didn't like to evaluate themselves, but I could be wrong. Yeah, that's kind of that initial hypothesis in there sounds totally wrong to me from everything else I've learned about psychology, so I'm going to have to dig into that a little deeper. Maybe there's a subtlety or a nuance that I'm not picking up on. I mean, people like to compare themselves to others if it's positive, generally. Although there are people who have personalities such that they like to wallow in, oh, that person's so much better at me, blah, blah, blah. Which I do a little bit of, but I don't think that mine is unhealthy. How do you like that? I do bad things too, but in a healthy way. I mean, there has to be room for people to recognize different levels of skill or success in things, right? I would never get better as an artist if I was like, well, I did it. I'm at the pinnacle of art. I'm the best. It's valuable for me to look at other artists and say, wow, they are so much better than me. Boy, do I have a long way to go. And that's fine. Maybe it comes to what your self-worth is tied to. Like, I don't see my worth as a human as being how good I am at art or any other particular thing. It's a mix of a lot of things. Everyone's got strengths and weaknesses, and that's good. I think I'm gonna have to carry some of this texture down into the head a little bit better. Damon Ra, hello! How you doing, Damon Ra? We were just talking about how people love to compare themselves to others. And sometimes it's in healthy ways, and sometimes not so healthy ways. I mean, that was something that's been brought up a lot about social media, is that for a lot of people, social media makes them miserable because they see the best presentation of other people and assume because they don't, see themselves always on vacation and, with the beautiful spouse and the, whatever it is that's being compared, having the delicious dinner, that other people's lives are just way better than their lives. And that's just an obvious illusion. And it's like, it's so blatantly obvious to me. I literally don't understand how that can affect people emotionally, but apparently it does. Like, obviously people are going to mostly post stuff that makes them look good and seem cool to their peers. Like, what, are you expecting pictures of when they are cramping with diarrhea on the toilet? Is that what you want to see? Like, yeah. Don't know why my mind went to that particular example, but there you go. I'm using a program called Zbrush. This is the computer sculpting program that pretty much every movie, special effect, monster, superhero outfit, and video game character is made in. And it's mostly because you can make things gold. See, like, how could you not want to work on a program where you could make your sculpt gold instantly? No, that's not really why, mostly, but it is fun to do from time to time. That's right, Zbrush. Unless you live in anywhere else in the world besides America, and then it's Zbrush. Oh man, Isither, I'm sorry to announce that you got the worst color ever. So this is what color you are to me. I can barely see you. So if I get your name wrong, I apologize. Oh, I do love ZBrush. It's so cool. The more I use it, the more I like it. Damon Ross says, can it be hooked up to a CNC or laser carving machine to print what you design? You can output a file from it, like an STL or OBJ or other format that those types of machines accept. And yes, in fact, that is specifically what I'm building this guy for. I'm going to be printing him out in 3D and then molding and casting him for promotional items, as well as photographing a really nice bust of him for the book cover for the second book in our trilogy. He's one of the main characters in the book. His name is Scolla, and he's a grumpy Gus. Usually, not always. Isither says, had to put my first likeness sculpting on pause, learning modeling and Revit at the moment. I don't know if that's a misspelling or something. I don't know. I don't know what Revit is. I might do Kerrigan bust as a metal cast. Yes, Aletha, I'd better finish them soon. It is almost October. You are correct about both of those things. Let me see. Kerrigan, you mean the StarCraft person? Is that what you're talking about, Isither? Oh yeah, Aletha's job is to hound me nonstop on behalf of my co-author to get the gosh darn art done so the book can be published.
Hello.
What?
Wait.
What?
You and your dad were like, blah, 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 blah. You need to do this like when they're over here that one time.
Yeah, I know. It's Aletha's job, it's your job, it's Dad's job.
Okay.
It's everyone's job to tell me to get my butt in gear. Faster, faster, faster. Which, I mean, I work on this hours every day. I mean, not this particular sculpt, but illustrations. Actually, let me take a break from this real quick and work on some illustrations. So these are the chapter frames that go at the top of each chapter in the book. And so I've got all these various illustrations that I've photographed out of my sketchbook, and I need to process them. As you can see, they're very flat and low contrast. Some of the ones I've done, you know, like this one has been fixed up. Some of them more than others, but yeah. So Isather, can you link ArtStation? Yeah, absolutely. Let me see your art. So a lot of these, it would help if I just went and re-photographed the images, because I think the lighting I had was not ideal for them, but I'm at least just stubbing them in for now. If I look at them later and I'm like, I've got to do better, I'll do that. Okay, let's check out your Kerrigan. Wow, fancy dancy. So many dreads, it's like the, yeah, I did a character with dreadlocks as well for my book, and although yours are fancier because they have to be like bone-like. Pretty darn cool. Let's see what else you got. Big bulky orc. Are these rendered in Keyshot or Arnold? Wow, that's a nice texture. Very nice texture. Cool. Great work, Star. Great work. Keep it up. Brightness. just want that back section to kind of fade off in the shadow better. That's good. Dottie B, hello, how's it going? Man, I don't know what it is about Photoshop's new brightness contrast, but I pretty much always end up using the legacy button. It just won't get the power that legacy has for some reason. Pop out some of these highlights a little bit. So each of these images has some kind of significance to the chapter that it's in, obviously. Well, I would hope it's obvious. Just to give a little like visual preview of what's coming up in this chapter. Torn on this one. I think I want it to be. The problem was like these cut off on the edge of the page. I wasn't sure if I wanted to re-illustrate them. Let me give it a try here. See if I just use the smudge tool, if I can. Give it a non-terrible. I guess I don't really want it to fade. I want it to have these kinds of edges. In which case, I suppose I should be using the clone tool, not the smear tool. Because the smear ruins all the fine-grained texture that's in there. I think you see all that little noise in there. You use a smear, a smudge, it blends it all together, and then you've got like that one uniform color, and it loses that paper grit. It just ends up looking weird. cooking? It's a pig. I'm making some barbecue pork. Yeah, it would be good, except this is the part where Beaumark comes into an inn for the first time, and a piece of meat falls off into the fire, and then the smoke from the burning meat gives him PTSD, and he has to run out, because he remembers the burning flesh smell of his best friend. But yummy for everyone else. So, what is this? This is a fireplace. This is the disc that he has to fight on. That's suspended above lava. It says, completely unrelated, I got to ride 5 different horses this past week. That made me pretty happy. Oh yeah. Does it make you appreciate Sinoni more or less when you ride other horses? There's a case where the non-legacy seems to work better for me. Like the shiny parts of the disc. Yeah, shiny is always good. This is like, because I had the Zbrush model already, you know, for Beaumark's bust, I just tried to do something that would be somewhat close to my illustrative style. So it kind of fits in with the other ones. Kind of not, but, you know, I could spend the time to draw over it to get it just perfect, but again, these books need to get out. I cannot spend all my time making everything perfect. Piggy. Okay, so good. Lisa says, I intend to become a super awesome rider, so riding different horses helps towards that. I like Sinoni the same. One of the horses I'm going to ride a couple times a week regularly, and that one likes to move forward, which is nice. My legs get tired trying to make Sinoni go. Yeah. I mean, there's that threshold at which, like, I try to make it good, and then find that sweet spot where no one else will notice, or not a significant number of people will notice the additional work that goes into it after that point. That's where I gotta learn to stop. Because I see a lot more of the imperfections than most people. Because most people, they're gonna glance at this picture for literally half a second. Maybe 1 second if I'm lucky. The die-hard fans will probably spend 2 to 3 seconds. So yeah, I don't need to kill myself making them perfect. Let's go back to Scolla. It's a nice little palette cleanser. Now I can go back to billions and billions of scales.
Only a girl with a game plan. I don't have the details all worked out. Well, I've got a lot on my to-do list. I wanna put you right on top, 'cause I wanna be your candy angel. Want you to be my devil doll. Sweet and sour, weak with power. Let's meet in the middle somewhere. Only a girl with ambition. Well, there's a lot I want to do for see and feel. Well, I'm looking in my little date book, and I want to see a date with you, 'cause I want to be your candy angel. Want you to be my devil doll. Sweet and sour, weak with power. Well, I think we've got a lot to go with here, baby. Someday I wanna have red-haired babies and holidays in the sand, but I'm not making demands. No expectations are more unavoidable. I'll be as close as I can be to what you need, 'cause I wanna be your candy angel. Want you to be my devil doll. Fire and ice, I roll the dice, 666s, and I need my Texas, yeah. 'Cause I wanna be your candy angel. Want you to be my devil doll. Sweet and sour, weak with power. Well, I think we've got a lot to go with here, baby. I wanna be your candy angel. Want you to be my devil doll. A yellow night, hard side to side.
I'm losing my flow when I do the big stamp like that over it. If that's the case, I just need to hand do most of the scales around the folds like that. $76, welcome. Good to see you around these parts. Thing I'm trying to avoid here is when I have lines that radiate out where the skin is being pulled. I don't want there to be scale, 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 just in like a line of scales. That ends up not looking so right. I can't tell you why it doesn't look right, just that it doesn't. Like I need some interplay between the scales that are on different folds. That might be where the diamond pattern thing I was talking about earlier is a big part of that. I'm not sure. 76, you got luck this time? What luck did you get? Did you win the lottery? What's going on? That definitely keeps the line, but again, I end up with these rows of scales that just don't look right. Tricky. I'm gonna figure it out like when I'm almost done with the sculpture, and then I'm gonna be like, ugh, I just want to redo the whole thing now. But I won't. I won't. Oh, you got lucky and seeing me today instead of 24 hours later. Yeah, you're live. Live on the air. Always appreciate it when 76 stops by. Because then, you know, you can yell at me when I do something wrong in real time. Yelling at the YouTube video doesn't do any good. I know, I've tried. I've yelled at so many YouTube videos. Okay, here I feel there's something good that's going on. So there's a line coming down here, and this scale bulges into its lane, which means the crease needs to then go down around it, back up. That's cool. Is that the secret sauce? It's just the lines need to weave around the scales as they exist. If that's the case, then in theory I should be able to do a big patch of scales like this, right? Actually like this. Okay, and then see, okay, these scales, this went through these scales here, but I'll just redirect them around. The problem is there's already divides between them, but what these folds are supposed to be doing is showing that the skin's being pulled directionally, which maybe it's just a matter of the crease then needs to just exert more force on the scales than the divisions between them already do. Maybe that's what I'm trying to accomplish here. Do kind of the I don't want to do a big one there yet until I put down my scales. Boom. Okay. In this case, these scales got like hacked in half. I don't think that's going to work. But what happens if I smooth them out, fill them back up, and then get this crease around them. If I play up the contrast between the ridge of the scale and the crease that runs by them, does that help or hurt? I need to take a step back. Yeah, I'm not seeing the overall flow of it. You can kind of see it with this particular shader. You can connect the dots of the dark lines a bit better. It's okay for it to be subtle, but this is starting to look more like cobblestone, which is, again, I'm trying to avoid. I'm trying to do alligator scales. I need to just bring up my pictures of alligators, which live in where? Animal. Don't have alligator. Is it under crocodile? Must be under reptiles. There we go. Yeah. That's stuff right there. So this has kind of the big nobules surrounded by a bunch of foldy flesh with much smaller nobules in it. Oh, there's a little Scolla foot if I ever saw one. But here you can see how these are the directional folds that I'm trying to keep. And it looks like the way they are kept is by having just much smaller little bits. Their scales are just little hardened clumps. They're not like full plate mail scales like you see on an alligator's back. So here is what's, I think this is what my problem is. Like, on an alligator, the parts, like this part, it's basically a cylinder, right? There's not a lot of fun folds and wrinkles, and where the fun folds and wrinkles exist, like in here, there's the scales are not these big plates. So that's what I'm shooting for. And to make sure I get that a little better, I am going to fill up my screen with this. Let's see. Is there an option to make this my desktop? Of course not. Set as background. Boom. Okay. Okay, now I cannot forget what I'm trying to achieve. Okay, and what that means is this probably, I can stick with what I've got going on for the back here rather than redo everything. I'm just going to apply this property to the front where it's softer, flappier skin. You can see it, that's probably why I did what I did with the arms, because they just need, if you're gonna get foldy, flappy skin, it just can't have these giant scales. So up here, I'm just gonna sacrifice some of the cool flow to have it be knobbier, like more like an alligator's back. Aletha says, I think it looks fine. Just throw my 2 cents in there. 76 also thinks it looks fine. Okay. Well, I agree. It does look fine. Try to find that point where it's fine, and then push past it to where it becomes great. That's the ideal. But part of the thing always pushing against the ideals is budget and time constraints and skill. So I try to diversify my portfolio, meaning I want to hit all of those goals of time and budget and quality, and part of quality is pushing myself a little bit further than just fine. Otherwise, I would never get better. I would just always be fine. Aletha has 4,868 hearts. Oh my gosh. That's cray cray. This whole area got stretched out all funny when I was readjusting the back. I think I could probably fix it just by carving in a couple extra scales here and there. Oh, Sigurd, you only have 3,032. You're a thousandaire. What do you got to complain about? Wooden Potatoes only has something like 17, so think how much better you're doing than him. Yes, I'm only live at night. That's part of being a night owl. I wish I could give you points for watching on YouTube. That'd be cool.
I can't take the world just as it is, and I can't close my eyes and fake it. I don't wanna jump, I want to slip. I'm taking the cap off, then I'll take another sip. When I lay at night, I see the faces of people.
Next time I take an extended staycation of like a week or whatever, I'll make sure to do some 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. live streams so that they can be middle of the day for you guys in Europe and Australia.
Just need a little bit, I just need a little bit.
Well, Aletha, you'll just have to get up at 3 a.m. and watch the live stream. See if you can set up Twitch to alert you on your phone whenever I go live. Just have an alarm that wakes you up. I mean, pro tip. You don't actually have to literally watch the stream to get the points. You just have to have it on. Although you can get more if you are watching, because you can click the lion heads when they pop up. Speaking of which, are you still getting that, Aletha? Still get lion heads? Okay, good.
I don't want to throw a fit. I don't want to be angry. I just need a little bit. I just need a little bit. Oh, 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 oh.
Yeah, that's looking good. There's still some anatomy buried under there if you look for it, but it mostly looks like a rumpled sack, which is exactly how he's described in the book, so doing good.
Just need a little bit. What was happening? Some but how easy you forget.
You need to have the lines,
How could you
like on YouTube.
forget? Sometimes I wait at the dark end of the street.
Anyone who's only watches this stream on YouTube will have no idea what we're talking about. It's great. I'm gonna keep it that way. Don't tell the YouTube crowd, you guys. It's a secret.
Well, do you think of me? Sometimes I feel I should turn around, walk away, yeah. I'll walk away.
This is perfect training, actually. Like, this is subliminal, propaganda. I'm conditioning you guys to every time you see my business logo, you click on it. Almost dropped your coffee trying to not miss the line. Wow, it's like a... Yeah, I think I was playing a game recently where I thought I was going into a cutscene. I was taking a drink of something, and then suddenly I had to, you know, do a button prompt or something. I was like, I think I barely saved it. Oh man, I hope I don't get one of you guys sue me like the McDonald's hot coffee thing. No point in suing me till I'm a billionaire. Yeah, that's true. All I ask is that you wait till I'm a billionaire. At that point, you can get in line with all the other people trying to sue me. Damon, how's it going? Oh, you're still number one? The number one spot, flexing in the mirror. You jump into a vault just filled with hearts. Swim around like Scrooge McDuck, watching football and buzzing around my office. So you're not really here. Okay. Then I won't talk to you. but I appreciate the viewer point. Every little point helps. This is what Damon is doing. Looting all the hearts. I really like how deep this crevice goes, but it has me worried about molding it, because the mold rubber will seep down into it and inevitably get caught on stuff and tear after several castings. Though I suppose what I could do is, after printing it, I could just fill it with epoxy. What is going on over here? Do I like it? There's something I don't like about it, but I can't figure out what it is. Is it that some of these little diamonds are too drawn out? If I nibble away at them and make these little triangle nubbins, will that help? Maybe. Like all these little kind of wrinkles on the scales. there's just this blah here, right, between scales, and I think I'm kind of seeing that creep into a lot of these areas. And that's what's bothering me. Says if they are too deep, the mold will get angry. Yeah, pretty much. It gets tired is what it gets. It gets tired and worn out. I know that feeling.
Tomorrow I'll wake with the sunshine to sit and feel alive, alive. When I am near you, it feels like the sunshine. You make me feel alive, alive. Maybe I'm crazy, yeah, baby, I'm crazy, yeah, maybe you're crazy too. Baby, I'm crazy, yeah, maybe I'm crazy, yeah, baby, crazy over you. Something about you is sweet like forever and warm like the sunshine. Sunshine. When I'm near you, it feels like the sunshine. You make me feel alive, alive. Maybe I'm crazy, yeah, baby, I'm crazy, yeah, maybe you're crazy too. Baby, I'm crazy, yeah, maybe I'm crazy, yeah, baby, crazy over you. I think tomorrow I'll wake with the sunshine to sit and feel alive, alive. When I'm near you, feels like the sunshine. You make me feel alive, alive, alive. Maybe I'm crazy, yeah, baby, I'm crazy, yeah, maybe you're crazy too.
someone hacked my music list. No, I just have an album from an old friend of mine on there. I like the chick rock from time to time. Actually, it's a good thematic fit because you know, I am artistic partners with my mother on Tales from Telefar, and that band is a mother and daughter duo. So it's cool. Yeah, man, I really wish that I could just play my favorite music on these streams. That would be super cool. Be way more variety. Wow. But yeah, YouTube won't let me monetize. I had to find the music that I wanted the evil robot overlords would not pick up on. The band that was playing was Ruby Shoes, spelled funny, and you can't find them anywhere. And I apologize to everyone that has tried. I could always give you MP3s next time you stop by if you want. Looking now. I think I have. Oh, hey. Here's the sketches I couldn't find before. Awesome. I'm going to open this in Photoshop. Why is Photoshop not an option? Why are you being ridiculous? Bill Mark's little monkey friend. And what a weird random way to find the stuff that I've been looking for like a month. I was like, I guess I just have to re-photograph my old sketchbook. I was digging around looking for my old sketchbook yesterday because I couldn't find the darn files that I know I had on my computer. But here they are. But originally I came in here because, oh yeah, here we go. Ruby Shoes, that's I did a little logo for me. It is cute, isn't it? I was on a kick doing cute logos for bands. I did the oh, I'll bet it's projects. Yeah, I did all these. Isley, that's the name of the band. Whew, that was hard. They had a t-shirt contest, so I did this. This one of them, and didn't work, so I tried this one. I just took the same figures and put them in a dollhouse. It was for their album called Room Noises, so the theme was you have to do room noises. In my original concept, I did them outside of the bathtub and then inside, just because I remember as a kid how cool it was to put your head under the water and hear, sounds, the room noises through the water, but it just looks like they're drowned, which is also fun in its own different kind of way. But yes, here's the original ink. Can't believe they didn't pick my design. Jerks.
Carpet now.
Guess you should wander my way to bug me again sometime. Yep. Yeah, you should plan it. Make a plan. Make it happen. I know how easy it is for you to get time off of your job, so. Wanted to get time off. Wanted to get time off for the Time Travelers Ball, but apparently your parents are going to the zoo that weekend. But Shayla is going to let me go with Anna and Serena. Oh, nice. I do not know what the Time Travelers Ball is, but it sounds delightful. It's fun. They do a thing called Dancing Through the Ages, and they have an hour of a country folk dance and an hour of another kind of dance, and then one more kind of dance. They lead us through the moves. Country folk dance is my favorite. So much fun. Good exercise, too. Okay, cool. So it's like a class type thing. I've got a, my cousin Zach teaches ballroom dancing professionally. I've only ever seriously tried to do, what is it called? Swing? Yes, swing dancing. It was fun. But not fun enough to keep doing it. Opportunity cost and all. So it's like dancing in Pride and Prejudice. Sort of a class. They show us how to do it, have us practice a little, and then we do the dance for reals. Kind of trip and stumble through, but it's still fun. Cool. I figure I contributed my one most important dance to society has been immortalized in Guild Wars 1. Since the male necro is captured from my dance moves. Let's see it now, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Foreman dancing. Yep, that's me. I don't think I actually jumped that high, but Bobby, our animator, decided to embellish a little bit. And then, yeah, and then two guys ran up to me and killed me. So that's completely accurate. Fear the Mordas, he has returned from his jog. No, I didn't even know you were gone. It's because you didn't announce that you were gone. I mean, I couldn't hear your heavy breathing like I usually can, but I just assumed it was because you were faced away from your microphone, which I can hear through on Twitch. It's special Twitch technology. That's right, I am a lich. Why do you think I ironically named my business Breath of Life? Hmm? Walked a mile, jogged a mile. That's usually a good thing to do. I could probably jog a mile if it was a very, very slow jog. Aletha, you just want to show me up. I would never dare to jog with you. I did swimming a couple times, and I'm going to get back to it as soon as my friend gets back in town. And I got to the point where I could almost do like one lap where you go from one end to the other, and then like about halfway back before I was like so winded I had to take a break. It's ridiculous. I have 0 endurance right now. I've got huge endurance when it comes to just sitting here and doing art. Man, it's incredible. In fact, what time is it? There it is, 3:11. Okay, so we've been going a little over 2 hours. Oh man, when I was looking through my old sketchbooks, I'll go slow while jogging, still faster than everyone sitting down. I was going through my old sketchbooks and I found these designs that I had from, oh god, 18 years ago probably. Toy designs, which at the time would have required, you know, a factory in China, blah blah blah. And stumbling across them now, I'm like, oh wow, these could be done in 3D printing now. And they're so cool. They're like kind of a mixture between Legos and McFarlane toys. If you know what McFarlanes are, they're like super detailed, gritty, creative monster robots, all sorts of things like that. But I wanted a modular kit of those things, and so I came up with this design. I still haven't seen anyone do it for ways to connect the pieces together. Yeah, yet another thing to add to the backlog of, oh hey, that's a cool thing I could do with my 3D printer now. But, you know, let me finish these books first, alright? AJ says, you have a lot more endurance than I do when it comes to sitting and doing art. It's Giovanni de Jesus Utilzi Coli subscribed. I'll bet that was a perfect pronunciation. Let's see if I can... over on YouTube. Hey, Giovanni, welcome. Thanks for the sub. It says, David is 3D printing little knights and a princess for my hand-drawn, taken artistic liberty with version of warlocks and warriors. Oh. Fancy dancy. There's a little Scolla, first generation Scolla. This says, so when you get to certain spots in this game, you have to roll to see what happens to you. And we made up silly stuff like, you step on a rusty nail, lose 1 turn. Or you get pulled into a party with the fairies, lose 2 turns. The dragon steps on your toe, lose 1 turn. You must make dinner for Fairy Queen. Roll a 7 or higher to get it right. Sounds like some madcap adventures there. Something that would happen on Adventure Time. And Mortis says, you rolled 15. Fairy Queen is still angry at you. Now this is feeling pretty good. I'm really liking these little, you can see them a lot better with this one, but there's all these little nubbins between the scales, and I think that's capturing what I'm seeing in here a little better. So I want to punch those up whenever I get a chance. It's hard because the resolution is so low that, well, it's not that the resolution is low, it's that I'm so close to it. Let's see if I use a brush. What about this size? Oh, that's the wrong brush. Yeah, that's something, because I mean, it's coming in wherever I do the stamping, but there's lots of places where I was hand doing them too, and so they're not in those areas. So I'm going to try to unify everything by bringing these in here and there to keep that look. Rolla tend to not sleep on the couch. Yeah, that just kind of looks good wherever there's little cracks to fill them in with these. Van Mortis says, online deity it is. Potato. Oh, Damon says, best part of running 20 plus miles a week is all the carbs I get to eat. I just ate 2 giant baked potatoes with sour cream and cheese and butter, and I don't feel guilty. That's great. I'd rather not run and not eat the food. Or rather, I can't associate the two, because like I think about how miserable it is to do the exercise, and that just makes eating the food, it ruins the fun of eating the food. But I'm super happy for people for whom that works. That's great. I wish I was one of them. Tons of drama in the Roll20 subreddit. I hadn't heard of that. Damon says, yeah, that's some juicy reading about the Roll20 debacle. And Mortis says, a mod at Roll20 banned a user for no reason, thinking he was another user, and instead of saying sorry, our bad, they doubled down. Then the owner of Roll20 tripled down and was a beep to everyone. That sounds unfortunate. I can't wait till we get to have our own Josh Foreman stream drama where we can all be mad at each other and make stupid mistakes and then have people talk about our stupid mistakes. Everyone is deleting their account on Roll20. That's one way to handle the situation. Indeed hateful. Then again, I know how awkward and weird D&D it is. Every community has toxic players. Indeed. I think we, as a culture, are still figuring out how to calibrate our response appropriately to people who say and do obnoxious things. I don't think we've figured it out yet. Right. Specifically things like all the press coverage that people get when there's, you know, a handful of loud, obnoxious people who are complaining about a thing. And then it becomes a thing, like a self-fulfilling prophecy, because it gets covered, and then lots of people hear about it, and then anyone who had a proclivity of turning into an obnoxious D-bag about that subject gets activated. It's like, if it was just pretty much ignored, be like, okay, yeah, some annoying people are mad about some random thing, who cares? A lot of that just wouldn't happen. But you gotta get them clicks, so reporting on people doing insane, outrageous things gets them clicks, so they're incentivized to make mountains out of molehills. And Mortis says, just show up to tech and have some troll guild spawn the dragon just to mess with people. Annoying. Talking about the Tequatl thing. I mean, part of why I left WoW was because it just got so bad after Cataclysm. The community did, or... And it feels bad to say the community, right? It's just like some portion of the community decides to be jerks about stuff. And then suddenly that's interpreted as the community, which certainly is not fair to the vast majority of people, especially since any online community, the vast majority of them are just lurkers. Like, they hardly say anything ever. Delete this ad. I thought about going back to WoW, but yeah, I fear the mean people. Guild Wars 2 has a pretty good community, though. Then Mortis says, I remember a friend put me in charge of their guild because they were too nice. I started kicking people who refused to help others or were a pain. I got called a dictator. I'm like, well, I do love taters. Damon says the best system of government is dictatorship. It gets stuff done. The problem is getting to write someone to be the dictator. Yeah, I was actually just last night. I was listening to a part on a lecture series. They're comparing the Han Dynasty with the Roman Dynasty, and one of the lectures was about some of the like super terrible emperors that both ended up with, you know, I can't remember which one, but one of the Roman dictators liked to dress up like, you know, basically dress up in the costume of a normal person and just go around the streets mugging and beating up innocent people. And there was another one during one of the boy, I'm running out of ways to speak with words out of my mouth right now. The Colosseum. Okay, so everyone's at the Colosseum, and it might have been Nero. He was like, that whole section of the audience, throw them all into the arena and let the animals eat them. And so this guards came up, everyone in that section was like booted down into the arena and got eaten by animals. It's like, that's not such a great dictatorship right there. But they did have some good ones. They did have some that seemed to legitimately care about prosperity and strength and freedom of their nation. At least for some people. Not so much freedom for the slaves. With good, you gotta be relative. You gotta look at what's out there in the culture at the time, and how much were they sticking their neck out to try to help people. Those who want the power do not deserve it. Yep, that is one of the biggest problems in government. In all of human civilization. Damon says there's a reason the plebeians weren't really fans of Nero. Indeed. Or plebeians, as my lecturer says. I believe RTLL had a whole thing about Wu Xing. Oh, today I learned. Well, maybe he was onto something. With 7.5 billion people, we can lose a few. Maybe Thanos had an idea. Yes, of course. Darkness says, they buried his golden palace. I mean, it's safe to say he wasn't liked. Yeah, but so many terracotta dudes to protect him, right? He could LARP with them for all eternity. Darkness says, oh, I was talking about Nero. Lol. Ujin was the Empress of China for a time who murdered her own children. Oh, I was getting her mixed up with... Oh, Chinese names are so hard for me. The first major one who did the first unification around, I want to say it was 400 BC. That's the one who had all the terracotta figures buried with them. If I recall correctly. And I'm probably not. I mine history less for the specifics of who did what, and more for the ideas that it could bring to world building for my world. Terracotta Army was the Mercury Man, wasn't it? Yeah, he was getting really sick, and his assistants were, or magicians, whatever, healers were like, here, drink this mercury. It's got magical properties that will heal you. And I mean, how could you doubt it? It's like, it's metal, but it's also liquid. It looks so cool. How could that not be a magical cure for everything? Darkness says, a crypt of liquid mercury. There is apparently a complex down there that WR can't get to because it's so toxic. Had not heard of that. A crypt of liquid mercury. Oh, I just read that. Oh, there's a complex down there we can't get to. Are you talking about in China or Rome? In China. I have to check that out. That sounds interesting. I don't know how you get mercury. Like, does it, when you're mining ore, does it just like spill out of ore that it's trapped in? These are the kind of dumb questions that I need to find smart answers to. You can distill it from other substances. Okay. Refine would be a better word, yes. I'm just wondering, what in its natural state in the ground, what is it? What is this substrate that it is trapped in? Because it's obviously not just sitting there in a puddle on the bottom of a cave somewhere. At least I assume it's not. Cinnabar or vermilion. Okay. See, I thought Cinnabar was a movie theater where you got to eat and order alcohol. Sulfide mineral. Formula is mercury 2 and sulfide. Interesting. It's time to eat, isn't it? Alright, I need to go, you guys. Leave me alone. Stop bothering me with these facts and figures about ore and minerals, you guys. And ancient Chinese burial rites. I will see you guys on Wednesday. Thanks for stopping by. If you're watching on the YouTubes, do me a favor and like it and subscribe it and bell it. There's a little bell button down there that you can hit. That'd be cool. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. I'll see you guys Wednesday. Bye.